Hi everybody, we're going to start today's practice on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together, knees butterfly open. Push down into your head so that you can tuck your shoulders under a little bit. And then bring your right hand to the belly and left hand to the heart. Begin by simply noticing your cycle of breath. See if you can let go of all of the shoulds that have likely come into your day today and will likely come into your practice on the mat. And instead of focusing on the shoulds, focus on what is. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale it out. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. And then just begin listening to your Ujjayi breath, creating an ocean wave of sound, a calming inhale, letting that inhale nourish the body, and a calming exhale, letting that exhale release all of your shoulds, all of your troubles and concerns. There really is no should in this pose. Your heels might be close to the body, or they might be pushed out closer to the front edge of the mat. Let your body be your guide. Your hips and your knees will tell you exactly what your body needs in this pose today. Soften the muscles in your face, the muscles of the shoulders. See if the elbows can sink down a little bit more toward earth. Soften the legs toward the earth as well. And take 3 more cycles of breath. And then we'll draw the knees together, bringing them into the chest for a hug. Tabletop on the back, 90-degree bend with the knees, flexing the feet, arms straight up to the sky. And then we'll begin to engage our core right away, since our core is needed throughout the practice. Keep a neutral spine, but push the legs forward and reach the arms back, just hovering things. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, push the legs forward, arms come back. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This time, exhale. Hold it here. Breathe deeply. Bring it back to center. Cactus the arms on the earth. Bring the left sole of the foot down. Right ankle crosses over the left thigh. Let the left knee release over to the left. Right knee is pointed up to the sky, or maybe you're pushing it forward just a little bit to feel a bit more of a stretch. Draw the legs back up to center. We'll reverse size. Right sole of the foot to the earth. Left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Right knee releases over to the right. Come back to center. Draw the knees into the chest. Hands come under the thighs. Rock and roll 1 or 2 times and come up to a cross-legged seat. Hands are on the knees to begin with. Take a deep breath in and exhale it out, letting the shoulders release. Knuckles come to the temples. Inhale, open up the elbows a little bit wider. Exhale, bring the elbows together in front of you. Inhale, open up the chest. Breathe into the heart. Exhale, squeeze elbows together. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, this time reaching arms high to the sky. Exhale, twist to your right. Left hand comes to the right knee, right arm behind you. So although you're twisting from the spine, you can send your gaze back a little bit. We just want to avoid only twisting from the head. Inhale, come back to center, arms reach tall. Exhale, twisting the spine to the left. Right hand to the knee, left hand behind you. And then the gaze can follow. Return to center. Bring the hands to the earth in front of you. And come back to a tabletop position, crawling your way back. Feeling those fingers spread wide. We'll start here. Inhale for a cow pose. Exhale, round the back to come into cat. Send gaze to belly button. Inhale, a little deeper cow here. Bending the elbows ever so slightly, lifting the chest. Exhale, round the back. Push the shoulders up into the sky. And then come back to neutral. Let's go ahead and flip our hands so that the fingers point toward the knees this time. Good stretch for the forearm and the wrists. And then we'll take some cat and cows here. Inhale for a cow pose. Exhale, round for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral. Turn the hands back around. Walk the hands forward an inch or 2. Tuck the toes. Send the hips high to the sky. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Set the gaze right between the feet. Push forward into the fingertips and into the knuckles. Not a lot of weight in the base of the palm. Let's avoid any problems for our wrists. On an inhale, lift the heels toward sky. Exhale to lower them toward the earth. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower. Inhale, wave it forward to high plank. Exhale, send it back, down dog. Inhale, waving it forward. Exhale, send it back. On this inhale, walk the feet to the top of the mat. Take a ragdoll here. Let's keep our hands rooted down onto the earth. Bend the left knee a little bit. Right arm reaches up to the sky for a little twist. Right hand returns to the earth. Bend the right knee. Reach the left arm high. Twisting on this side. Hand returns to the earth. Toe heel your feet together. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, hinge forward. Crown of the head comes toward the earth. Feel free to bend the knees deeply. Inhale, root down to rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, little back bend here. Push the hips forward, gaze goes up, goalpost the arms. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands come to heart center, Samastitihi, closing the eyes. Feeling the knees, the thighs lift, belly draws in, shoulders soften. We'll take a cycle of breath here in gratitude for someone or something in your day today. And a cycle of breath in forgiveness of yourself or of another. And a cycle of breath to set an intention for today's practice. Something that you can practice both on and off the mat today. On an inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to step that left foot back. Release the left knee to the earth, arms sweep to the sky. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Push forward into that right knee a little bit. Feel the stretch in the left quadricep. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Lift the back knee, step it back, high plank. Pause here. Draw the right knee to the right tricep. Step it back. Left knee to left tricep. Step it back. Lower all the way down to the belly. Flip the toes so they're pointing to the back of the room. Inhale, lift for a cobra pose. Squeezing the elbows together behind you. Keep breathing here. Knees are lifted. Exhale, lower it down. Come to the knees. Send it back, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale to step it forward. Low lunge. Release the back knee. Inhale, arms reach tall. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands to the earth. Lift the back knee. Step it forward. Forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to hinge. Inhale, rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, hinging forward, Uttanasana. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Release the knee down to the earth. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Push forward into that left leg. Gaze is up, opening up heart center. Inhale, return to center. Arms reach tall. Exhale, hands down to the earth. Lift the back knee, push it back, high plank. Inhale, left knee comes forward to the tricep, step it back. Right knee comes forward to the tricep, step it back. Lower all the way down to the belly. Turning the toes, inhale, lifting into a cobra. Holding it here. Exhale to lower it down, pushing it back to a tabletop first and then downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale to step it forward, low lunge, release right knee to the earth. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands to the earth, lift the back knee, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale to hinge. Inhale, rise tall, mountain pose. Now that we've warmed up a little bit, let's take a few sunnays. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to step it back. High plank. Shift your face forward. You're on the tops of your toes. Bend the elbows to the back of the room. Lower just halfway. Inhale through, upward facing dog. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. And there is no should there, so if you prefer to take that on your knees today, then take it on your knees. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Come to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, Chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. Come to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, hinging forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to step it back. High to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Come to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale, rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, stepping it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Step your feet to the outer edges of the mat. Root down into the right hand. Really push those hips high. Reach the left hand for the outside of that right leg. Gaze goes right underneath the armpit. Your heels might be able to drop a little bit lower. Change sides. Lift those hips a little bit higher and then reach that right hand for the outside of the left leg. Right hand returns to the earth. Walk the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, hinge forward. Grab your block and bring it between the thighs here for a chair pose. If you don't have a block, just take a wider chair pose, so feet are underneath the hips, arms reach to the sky. So with the block here, you're allowed to really squeeze into the block. There might be a little bit more of a release in the low back here. But what I really want you to pay attention to is not allowing your ankles to collapse in. So often we talk about in chair pose squeezing the knees, the thighs, and the feet together. But you really want those ankles stacked over the heels so that there's not that collapsing in. Bring that right hand to your hip. Inhale, length for the left side body. Exhale, twist that left elbow to the right thigh. Lift the heart a little bit higher. Palms come together, twisting in this chair pose. Sink the hips back and see if you can lift that heart. Exhale to hinge forward. Remove that block. Right foot comes towards center, left leg lifts for our standing splits, standing L here, really allowing the crown of the head to release down. But draw that right hip in so that the hip, the knee, the ankle is stacked. Keeping that stack, let's build some strength for the glute. Lift your gaze, take a deep breath in. Exhale, curtsy squat. Left knee comes behind the right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curtsy squat. Keep that right hip drawn in. Inhale, lengthen, standing splits. Exhale, curtsy squat. Inhale, lengthen, standing splits. Lift the gaze, bend the front knee. Step the left foot to the back of the mat, warrior one legs. Keeping that right hip drawn in, lift the arms into warrior one, pushing down into the right heel. Feel the energy releasing through that back heel and out the fingertips. Deep breath in for length. Exhale, opening up, warrior two. Shoulders come over the hips here. Bend into that front leg. Push down into the right heel. And then set the gaze right over the front fingertips. Shift the rib cage forward for side angle pose, releasing that right hand to hover inside the front ankle or to reach for a block. Left arm reaches tall, flip the palm to rotate the shoulder, and then bring that hand behind the back for a half bind. You may be working your fingertips all the way over to the right thigh. And this is an example of a place where sometimes people's ego tells them, I should do a full bind. Really, you are going to open up your shoulder better here if you stay with the half bind. Left arm reaches to the sky. We'll rise up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Come to a 5-pointed star, toes point out, gaze goes up. And exhale, bending the knees and coming into goddess. We'll eagle up the arms here. Left arm comes underneath the right, lifting the elbows to shoulder height. Feel how that stretch is really in the shoulder blades here. And then if you push the elbows forward and lower them down, the stretch shifts to the top of the shoulders. Lift the elbows back to shoulder height. Release the arms off to the side. 5-pointed star, reaching up. Exhale, warrior two to the back of the mat, left leg in front. Push into the knife edge of your right foot so there's a slight lifting of the arch. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, right arm down the back leg. Left arm's reaching back. Feel a stretch in the side body. Be curious. How far away from your hips can your rib cage reach? Deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Spin the back heel up. Low lunge. Airplane the arms. reaching the fingertips away from the crown of the head reaching forward. Right hand comes to the earth, low lunge twist. Left arm's reaching to the sky. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Draw your left hip in and see if you can lift the torso into a high twist. Back heel lifts a little bit higher once you find your steady. Inhale, crescent lunge. Front knee stacks over the ankle. 2 more cycles of breath. You've got this. Hands come down to the earth inside that front foot. Release the right leg long behind you. Toe heel the left foot forward. Runner's lunge here. So the front ankle is in front of the knee. You can stay at tall arms or come down to your forearms. If you prefer to have a block under the forearms, that works as well. Rise up to tall arms. Tuck the back toes under here. Step the left foot back for a high plank. Lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. Come to the top of the mat. Lifting halfway, flat back. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale, rise up. Mountain pose, Tadasana. We'll sink into a higher chair for eagle pose. Left arm comes under. Left leg lifts and crosses over that right thigh, perhaps tucking the toes behind the calf, bringing the big toe to the earth for a kickstand, or hovering it, lifting elbows to shoulder height. Notice your weight here should be primarily in that right heel. Begin to lower the elbows toward the knees. And then lift them back into eagle pose, using your core strength. Lower them toward the knees. Unwrap the left leg, warrior 3, eagle arm. Send that leg behind you long, hip height. Feel the fingertips reaching forward. Lots of length in the spine. Then the front knee, step the left foot to the back of the mat, warrior 1. Arms reach to the sky to begin. And then we'll interlace the fingers behind the back, pushing knuckles down, gaze up. Exhale to hinge into humble warrior. Right shoulder comes inside that front leg, crown of the head releases down, neck softens. And you listen to your breath here. Slowly rise back up to a warrior one. Arms reach tall. Exhale to open warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, arms reach overhead. Exhale, return to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach and straighten. This time release the left arm down by your side. Right arm reaches a little bit taller. Lengthen out the right rib cage. And then we'll make our way into triangle pose. Shift the hips. Right arm reaches forward. Keep reaching. Right hand comes to the earth as the left arm reaches to the sky. Right arm not really to the earth. Maybe it's a block, shin, ankle. Neck is long here. Keeping the energy flowing in the spine all the way down through the feet and into the earth. Little power triangle, slight bend to that front knee as you reach the right arm forward, big L with the arms. Slowly rise back up to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, turn the toes to set up a prasarita. Arms come to the hips, gaze goes up. Squeeze the elbows together behind you and exhale to hinge forward. Arms come directly underneath you. Root down into the left hand. Reach the right arm high for a bit of a twist. Right hand releases. Root down. Lift the left arm high. Hand releases. Walk the hands underneath you. Fingers reach forward. Shifting your weight into the balls of the feet. Come back to tall arms. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. We'll start here with warrior one feet. Grab that block and bring it in front of you. Nice tall block. So we'll come into an airplane pose here, arms on the block. Lifting that right leg. And then the right hand will stay on the block. Bring the left hand to the hip. Turn the right rib cage. Revolved half moon as that left arm reaches up to the sky. Lower the left hand to the earth, step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to hinge forward. Big toes are together. Lift the heels. Lower the butt toward the heels as the knees bend open. And then the arms reach forward for a stretch. Push the hips back. This is a variation of Malasana, yogi squat. Walk the hands back toward the feet, straightening the legs, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to hinge forward, separating your feet and bringing that block between the thighs to a chair pose. So again, we're still shifting our weight into our heels, squeezing into the block, but making sure that our ankles stack over the heels rather than collapsing inward. So think about the arch of the foot lifting as well. Bring the left hand to the hip. Right arm reaches nice and tall. Exhale, twisting so that right elbow comes outside the left thigh. Lift the heart. Bring the hands together. Sink those hips back and down. Deep breath in. Exhale to hinge forward. Set the block off to the side. Inhale, right leg lifts high, standing splits. Draw that left hip in towards center, stacking it over knee and ankle. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to squat. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, squat. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, squat. Inhale, standing splits. Lift your gaze. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Push down into the left heel. Rise into warrior one. Let the lower body surrender into this pose. Inhale, arms reach a little taller. Exhale, opening up, warrior two. Now that back foot is somewhat parallel to the back of the mat. Toes might be turned in though toward the left leg. Shifting the rib cage forward. Left arm releases down, hovering inside that front ankle or coming to a block. Right arm reaches for some length. Flip the palm, rotating the shoulder. And then bring that right hand behind the back. We'll open up the shoulder, the rib cage here in this side angle with a half bind. Push down into that left heel and then really feel that right leg nice and firm. Right arm reaches back up to the sky. Return to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, five-pointed star, toes point out, gaze goes up. Lift the pelvic floor toward the chest. And exhale into goddess. On this side, we'll take eagle arms, right arm under the left. Starting with the elbows at shoulder height. And then begin to lower the elbows down. Push them forward, but lower them down toward belly button. Lifting elbows back up to shoulder height. Arms reach to the sky, five-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two to the back of the mat. Right leg is in front here. Let that front knee track toward pinky toe. Push into the knife edge of the left foot. Flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior as you reach out of the front hip. Still sinking down, though, into that right leg. Exhale to windmill the hands down to the earth. Spin up the back heel, low lunge. Front knee is stacked over the ankle. Draw that right hip in. Push down into the earth to lift the arms behind you. Airplane the arms. Long spine here, long neck. Left hand to the earth, right arm to the sky, low lunge twist. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Draw that right hip in. Feel the glute engage. And then try to lift the torso into a high twist. Once you're there, back heel lifts a little bit higher. Inhale, crescent lunge. Soften the shoulders. You're here for 2 more cycles of breath. Hands come down to the earth inside the front foot. Release the left leg down long behind you. Toe heel the right foot way far forward. Runner's lunge. Coming down to the forearms. The beauty of this pose is you get a nice stretch in that left quadricep and hip flexor, as well as in the outside of the hip for the right leg. Rise to tall arms if you're not already there. Tuck the back toes under. Step the right foot back for a high plank. Lower halfway for chaturanga or make your way right to a down dog. Inhaling through to an up dog. Exhaling back. Meeting in down dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Come to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, rising tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Sink into that higher chair. Right arm comes underneath the left for eagle. Right leg lifts and crosses over the left. Shifting a little bit more weight into the heel, letting the hips sink back and down. Elbows come close to the knees. Draw the belly in, round the shoulders. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower elbow toward knees. Unwrap the right leg, warrior 3, eagle arms. Keep your drishti, your gaze, strong and steady on one point. Bend the front knee, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Rise up, warrior 1 with the arms straight to the sky. Interlace fingers behind the back. Push the knuckles down, gaze up. Feel the opening in the collarbones here. When you're ready, exhale, hinge into a humble warrior. Your gaze can be all the way back at your back foot. Still feeling that front heel pushing down into the earth. But notice if you're sinking into your left hip and see if you can lift out of it by engaging the left quadricep. Inhale, return to warrior 1. Exhale, open warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach overhead. Exhale, sink into warrior 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lift. This time, right hand comes down the back leg. Left arm reaches taller. Exhale, hinge forward to set up triangle pose. Left hand down to the shin or ankle. Right arm reaches tall. let the energy flow from the top fingertips all the way down through the shoulders and down through the feet. Slight bend to the front knee as you reach the left arm forward. Deepen your breath. Slowly rise up. Turn the left toes in. We'll set up another Prasarita here. Arms can stay out. Stretch palms up. Gaze up. Exhale, hinge forward, reaching for the outer edges of the feet. You might even tuck the fingers under the feet. Shifting weight forward and letting go. Listen to your deep breath in and your deep breath out. Let that life-giving breath calm the central nervous system. Come to tall arms underneath the head. Walk the hands to the front of the mat, turning the toes, kind of warrior one legs here, but then bring that tall block in front of you. Hands to the block as you step into an airplane pose, warrior three. It's really just lifting that back leg. Bring that right hand to the hip. Keep the left hand on the block. You might want the block a little bit more over to the right though, or to the left. Turn your heart to the right, and then the right arm lifts up. Revolved half moon here. Think about that right hand pushing into a wall and see if that can help you to twist. Release it all into a forward fold. Inhale, lifting to a flat back. Exhale to hinge forward. Come to a seat. And we'll start here by taking a nice wide-legged stance. Or wide-legged seat, I should say. And just begin by kind of reaching the hands down toward the shins and hinging forward. You might be able to reach for your feet. Nice long spine here. Proud chest gazes forward. Hips are reaching back. Rise up. Bring the left foot in. Good. Now turn the torso toward the left knee. Let that thigh release down toward the earth. Reach the right arm long down the right leg. Left arm reaches to the sky. Begin to lean over to the right, and then bend that left hand and bring it behind the neck. Kind of right between the shoulder blades. So you're really stretching out the QL here, the psoas, that entire left side body. Your gaze can go up. You can turn the heart toward the sky. Come back up to center. Left leg reaches back out. And we'll lean forward again, reaching our hands for the ankles, the toes. Not rounding the back and drawing the shoulders in, but proud chest just hinging from the hips. Rising back up, draw that right heel in. Turn the torso toward the right knee. Let that thigh sink down toward the earth. Left arm slides along the left leg as the right arm reaches up and you lean to the left. Then bring that right hand behind the head, right between the shoulder blades, and turn the heart toward sky. Rise back up. Draw that left foot in, soles of the feet together, knees butterfly open, hands to the ankles. Lift the chest, gaze up. Proud, tall spine. And then hinge forward, maybe using the elbows to push against the inside of the knees. Rise back up here. Come on to your back. We'll take a bridge pose. Arms long at your sides, feet come in toward the sit bones. Just make sure you can brush the back of your heels. Lift the pelvis up toward the rib cage, so you'll feel kind of the lower back push down. Push down into the feet. Robot the arms, fingers up to the sky, elbows bent, and then push down to lift the hips up. You should feel the upper arms pushing down into the earth, shoulders tuck. Neck is nice and long on the earth, so try not to crunch the chin into the chest. Lower it down here. Draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then we'll take an inversion, sending those feet straight up to the sky. I'm going to go ahead and grab my block. I like to take it at the medium height underneath my hips. Arms long at your sides. And then if that block is at the medium height, flex your feet and release your left heel to the earth in front of you. Feel that bit of a stretch in the hip flexor right in front or along the front part of your thigh. Maybe point the left toes. And then draw that leg back up to the sky and reverse sides. Right heel releases down to the earth. And of course, you can stay right with the inversion. You don't have to do this. There's no should here. Maybe pointing the right toes. Right leg lifts back up to the sky. Deaf man's pose to come off of the block. We'll lift the hips high, bringing toes behind the head, and then the knees squeeze into the temples. Arms can be long at your sides. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lower it down. Take a happy baby pose. Reaching for the arches of the feet, knees bend, root the lower back down into the earth. Personally, I love to find movement in this pose. Knees come into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Let the left leg go long. I'm going to use my block as a prop underneath my right shin. So right arm out to a T. Twist on over to the left. So I'm bringing that right leg to the block. Right shoulder roots down into the earth. It's okay if there's a little bit of a lift. Just think about releasing it down. And if this pose does not feel amazing to you, because it does for me, if it doesn't, then take a supine twist that does work for you. Come back to center. Draw both knees into the chest. Maybe move the block over to the other side if you liked that. Right leg goes long, left arm out to a T. Guide that left knee over to the right. Letting it rest on the block, gazing over to the left. Come to center. Draw the knees into the chest. One final squeeze. Lift into a tight little ball here, forehead to knees. And release into Shavasana, final resting pose. Let your entire body sink in. Take a few moments to move things around. To tuck the shoulders, to move the fingers, to let go of tension in the feet and the ankles. Eventually settle into stillness. Let go of your Ujjayi breath and return to your natural breath. Perhaps using a mantra to give yourself focus so that when the mind wanders, you can return to your mantra. Perhaps that's inhale love, exhale joy. Maybe you stay in that Shavasana, or you begin to deepen your breath, finding a full body extension as you reach the arms overhead and arch the back. Exhaling to roll to your right side. Allow this to be an opportunity for a new beginning, to let go of any of the shoulds that you've been feeling lately, and to simply be. Keeping the eyes closed and your attention drawn inward, make your way to Sukhasana, cross-legged seated position. Hands come to heart center. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, thumbs to third eye center. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Bowing it forward. Namaste.